Now, see the greatest champions of all time in their most sensational and thrilling knockouts. You'll wince at the crushing attack of Sonny Liston. See the ferocious fighting style of the explosive light heavyweight champion, Bob Foster. Almost feel the two-handed demolishing punches thrown by Smokin' Joe Frazier. Watch in awe at the devastating power of George Foreman. Marvel at the magnificent grace of the incomparable Muhammad Ali. See all of the great world boxing champions in the electrifying series Knockout. On July 4th, 1919, in Toledo, Ohio, heavyweight champion of the world, Jess Willard, makes the second defense of his championship against the shorter, lighter, underdog challenger, Jack Dempsey. At the very beginning of round one, the 6'7" champion is hit with a paralyzing left hook to the jaw and sent to the canvas for the first time in his professional career. Willard takes an 8 count as the challenger waits to resume his attack. When Willard rises, Dempsey is all over the champion, throwing lefts and rights to the head, and Jess is down again. The moment Willard stands up, Dempsey is all over his man. In 1919, the fighter scoring a knockdown does not have to go to a neutral corner, and referee Ollie Picard merely counts over the fallen fighter, while Dempsey stands right over the champion while he's on the floor. There's no let-up in Dempsey's attack. The moment Willard's knees are off the canvas, the challenger continues to pound away at his man. Never has a champion taken such punishment. Courageously, Jess rises again and again. There's no let-up in Dempsey's attack. It was thought that the 106-degree heat would have some effect on the outcome of this fight, but the challenger has taken the question right out of the weatherman's hands. He wants this issue to be decided here and now in round one. Willard stumbles helplessly across to the opposite side of the ring while the challenger is relentlessly in pursuit. Dempsey pounds Willard to the canvas for the 6th time. How can the champion keep getting up? Painfully, Jess pulls himself to a half-erect position. Dempsey smashes 3 more crushing right hands into Willard, and Jess goes down for the 7th time here in round one. As the referee counts over Willard, the bell sounds at the count of 8, saving the champion from a 1-round knockout. As we go into round 3, the pattern of the fight has changed. For in the 2nd round, Dempsey was unable to floor the champion at any time. Here in round 3, Willard is completely at the mercy of the relentless Dempsey, and it's obvious that it's just a matter of time before Dempsey will be crowned the heavyweight champion of the world. At the beginning of round 4, Willard is unable to answer the bell, and Jack Dempsey wins the heavyweight championship of the world, July 4th, 1919, in Toledo, Ohio. It's November 25th, 1983. Heavyweight champion of the world, Larry Holmes, defends his title against Marvis Frazier in Las Vegas. Heavyweight champion of the world, Larry Holmes, is in the white trunks. Marvis Frazier is in green. Marvis Frazier trying to follow in the footsteps of his father, Smoking Joe, in winning the heavyweight crown. This is Holmes' 4th title defense this year. He has taken decisions from Lucian Rodriguez and Tim Witherspoon. And in his last fight 2 months ago, he stopped Scott Frank in 5 rounds. Holmes looking for an opening to drive home his towering right hand. Marvis Frazier trying to work inside and go to the body of the champion. A blockbuster right, and Frazier goes sprawling across the ring. Referee Mills Lane moves in to pick up the count as Joe Frazier looks on from ringside. Marvis is up at 9, and referee Lane wipes his glove. Holmes throwing punches from all angles, roughs Frazier with a right hand. Frazier is hurt as he retreats to the corner of the ring.
Holmes motioning for the referee to step in and stop it. The champion has Frazier completely at his mercy. Finally, the referee steps in and stops it. Larry Holmes scores an exciting one-round knockout over Marvis Frazier and remains heavyweight champion of the world.
December 10th, 1958, Montreal, Canada. Light heavyweight champion Archie Moore runs into a rough Yvonne Durrell. A short right drops Archie early in round one. Can Archie Moore weather the storm? Moore is in the best shape of his career, as we will see as the fight progresses. Durrell sends victory and rips bruising combinations to the body and short rights to the head. Moore calls on all his know-how in a ring career that began in 1936. In that time, he's KO'd better than half of his more than 125 opponents. Moore is hurt, tries to cover up, and a left and short right sends him down again. In round 5, Durrell continues to pour it on. Moore against the ropes, takes a right and short left hook and goes down again. In round 7, Durrell suddenly tires and Moore comes on. It's Moore working quickly with short punches to the body, then switching to the head. Moore knocks Durrell down with a left and right and left. Now Durrell is in trouble. In round 10, the tide has changed. Moore in command. Now it's Moore, the clever boxer-puncher. Moore with a short left, right, and left. Again, Durrell is down. The referee picks up the count over a tired game Durrell. But he's saved by the bell. In round 11, light heavyweight champion Moore gets home again with a left, right, left, and defeats Yvonne Durrell, coming far behind and almost out in round 1 to do it. As Moore would remark after the fight, "This was my finest hour," and you saw it on Knockout.
It's July 12, 1948, and world lightweight champion Ike Williams defends his title against the sensational former champion, Bo Jack. That's Bo Jack on the left, and he's been forcing the fight for the first 4 rounds. The champion, Ike Williams, on the right, has been sharpshooting, throwing effective counterpunches whenever the slightest opening presents itself. Bo Jack is back to the camera, carries the fight to champion Williams. Ike Williams won the championship a year ago. He's a 2-to-1 favorite, but Jack says that his fist will determine who's the favorite tonight. Bo Jack is relentless. He never gives an opponent a moment's rest. He's been fighting professionally for 13 years and twice won and lost the lightweight championship. This is Williams' second defense of his title. He defended it successfully 8 weeks ago when he took a unanimous decision from Enrique Bolanos. Here, going into round 6, Ike Williams is ahead by a narrow margin, but the sharpshooting Williams is about to explode. What? As a tremendous flurry of punches staggers Bo Jack. Williams is turning it on now. Jack is sent drilling back into the corner as the champion moves in to finish it. The courageous Bo Jack refuses to go down. Williams steps back, appealing to the referee to stop the fight, but all to no avail. Ike continues the attack, but the challenger is helpless as the referee jumps in to stop it. Ike Williams once again successfully defends his lightweight championship against the magnificently courageous former champion, Bo Jack.
It's May 24th, 1968. The light heavyweight championship of the world is at stake as title holder Dick Tiger takes on dynamite-punching Bob Foster in New York City. The first 3 rounds saw neither fighter take an edge. Here in round 4, champion Dick Tiger in the light blue trunks is boxing cautiously. Challenger Bob Foster in red trunks is a knockout artist with either hand. In Foster's last 10 fights, only 1 has gone the scheduled distance, with the other 9 ending with a crushing knockout.
Dick Tiger in blue won the World Light Heavyweight title with a sparkling 15-round decision over Jose Torres 18 months ago. Before becoming light heavyweight champion, Tiger held the middleweight title twice and is acclaimed as one of the finest champions of all time in that division. 6'3" Bob Foster has a tremendous reach and is using it to good advantage with those long jabs against the 5'7" champion. This is Tiger's first fight this year. In his last bout, 6 months before, Tiger scored a 12th round knockout over Roger Rouse in the first defense of the light heavyweight crown. Pulverizing left hook, and champion Dick Tiger crumbles to the canvas. The referee points Foster to a neutral corner and picks up the count over the dazed Dick Tiger. Dick can't make it. Bob Foster becomes the new light heavyweight champion of the world with an electrifying 4th round knockout of Dick Tiger. It's June 18th, 1941. The fabled brown bomber Joe Louis is making the 18th defense of his heavyweight championship. His opponent, the light heavyweight champion of the world, Billy Conn. In round 12, the 174-pound Billy Conn is actually ahead on points. Billy has been boxing brilliantly, using speed of foot and sparkling combinations to capture the lead in this fight thus far. Conn is giving away 25 pounds to the man rated by many as the greatest heavyweight champion of all time. Watch this tremendous flurry by Conn. Louis is hurt. He's in desperate trouble. He grabs Billy for support. Let's look at that great flurry in slow-motion stop-action photography. Conn gets in that ripping left. Billy lands another jolting left on the champ's chin. Conn's definitely looking for that knockout. In round 13, Louis shoots in 2 blistering rights and a left. He knows he's got to knock Billy out to win this fight. This is one of the greatest heavyweight championship fights in years. Watch Billy come back with a sensational flurry of punches. Conn is desperately trying to finish it right here and now. But the great brown bomber has other ideas. Watch him go to work on the light heavyweight champion. Now it's Louis coming on. This time it's Joe who has Conn groggy. Louis lands a punishing left-right combination. Conn is trying to last out the round. Watch the final 6 dynamite punches to the head, which finally put Billy down. As the referee tolls off the count, Billy will vainly attempt to rise before the fatal 10, but he doesn't quite make it. In sensational fashion, Joe Louis successfully defends his world's heavyweight championship against the magnificent light heavyweight champion of the world, Billy Conn. It's January 22nd, 1973, and Knockout takes you to Kingston, Jamaica, where world heavyweight champion Joe Frazier defends his title against George Foreman. Challenger George Foreman in the red trunks has Joe Frazier cornered and opens up with hammer-like lefts and rights. Frazier, a late starter, can't get set. Foreman drops him with a right hand. To the shock and amazement of everyone present, Foreman seems to have taken charge. Frazier, one of the most devastating punchers in his own right, can't seem to get on track. Foreman comes out for the second round, ready to finish off Frazier. Foreman is a real cool customer, each punch on target. George is warned by referee Arthur McCanty for pushing.
Foreman gets home again. Frazier goes down. It's hard to see how Frazier can continue. Foreman right on target, drops Frazier again. Foreman yells to Frazier's corner to stop the fight. George Foreman electrifies the boxing world and becomes the new heavyweight champion with a shocking second-round knockout of Joe Frazier.
It's September 23rd, 1952, and world heavyweight champion Jersey Joe Walcott defends his title against the Brockton blockbuster Rocky Marciano. In round one, champion Walcott in the white trunks comes right out bombing. Joe is a 2-1 underdog tonight, but the 38-year-old champion looks like he's out to end it fast. This is a new experience for Marciano. Usually it's the Rock who's dishing it out. Reading upsets is Walcott's specialty. Jersey Joe would like to finish off Marciano right here in round one. Walcott gets in with a left hook that floors Marciano. In slow motion, we can see how the champion timed that punch to perfection, shooting it right in with 200 pounds of weight behind it. Marciano is caught flush, his right hand too low to block Walcott's sizzling left hook. This is the first time Rocky has ever been down, but he has the presence of mind to take an 8 count. Marciano knows that tonight he has a real war in his hand. There was no let-up in rounds 2 through 8, with both fighters throwing haymakers. Here in round 9, this excellent close-up shot shows you the fury of the face. Neither man is letting up for an instant. Every one of these punches is intended to end the fight. In rounds 10 through 12, Walcott had a decided edge, and he's definitely ahead on points. Now watch Rocky's right hand. That's it. In slow motion as Walcott starts to throw a right hand, the Rock beats him to it. The World Heavyweight Championship was riding on that one devastating right to the jaw. Rocky Marciano, the Brockton blockbuster, becomes the 18th World Heavyweight Champion under the Marquis of Queensberry rules as Jersey Joe Walcott is counted out. An explosive knockout finish to one of the most sensational heavyweight championship fights of all time.
I want you to obey my command to break, no pushing, no shoving on the brakes. Avoid the use of your heads, no rabbit punches, kidney punches, or punches below the belt. Protect yourself at all times, shake hands, come out boxing at the belt.
And there is a look at Tommy Morrison. He has been trying to stay as active as possible. He comes off, as you mentioned, a one-round knockout over a former footballer, Rick Ennis. That was simply no contest. David Jaco, 21 wins and 16 losses, but of his 21 wins, 18 of them have been by knockouts, so you know that he's got some power.
Yeah, and I took this fight on ridiculously short notice. I mean, really short notice.
Yeah, I mean, he was sitting around the pool this morning, I think,
yeah.
wasn't he?
And it doesn't look like he's been in real hard training. Danny Sutton, the original opponent for Morrison, he's a lefty, and now have to face a right-hander.
There's a left hand. Jaco's down and probably out. What a huge shot. That's it.
Well, the Morrison left hook, which is a good one. First punch he threw. I guess we'll have to wait for a tabulation by our punch profile. Not really the first punch. What do you have, 3 for 6?
3 for
Was that
6,
it?
50%. That's not bad. It's a high percentage rate.
It's May 1st, 1957. Middleweight champion of the world, Gene Fullmer, defends his title against the man he took it from, Sugar Ray Robinson, in Chicago, Illinois. To the right of your screen in black trunks is champion Gene Fullmer. Sugar Ray Robinson in white trunks is slightly ahead in the scoring here in round 5. Both men working on the inside. The two fighters separate. Sugar Ray has a spectacular ring record. In 147 professional bouts, he has lost only 5. At age 37, Robinson is giving away 11 years to the younger Gene Fullmer. Gene won the middleweight crown from the Sugar Man in a grueling 15-round war just 4 months ago.
Fulmer trying to break free to work on the outside where his long bombs do the most damage. The referee separates the two men. Fulmer pressing forward. A jolting left hook by Robinson, and Gene Fulmer crashes to the canvas. The referee picks up the count as Gene tries to rise. It's all over. From an isolated camera, here's another look at that spectacular knockout punch. There it is. Another view of that lightning left from a ringside camera. Fulmer goes down. That's it. Sugar Ray Robinson regains the world middleweight title for a record 4th time with a first-round knockout over Gene Fulmer.
It's August 3rd, 1977. Former featherweight champion of the world, Alexis Arguello, takes on Jose Fernandez in Madison Square Garden. In round 1, Arguello drops Fernandez with a right hand. Arguello moves to a neutral corner as the referee picks up the count. The referee wipes Fernandez's gloves and signals the fight to continue. Arguello was king of the featherweight division for 3 years before relinquishing the title 2 months ago to campaign in the junior lightweight division. A great left hook rocks Fernandez. Fernandez is completely helpless against the superb boxing of Arguello. Another sizzling left hook explodes off Fernandez's jaw, and he tries to cover up. A right to the body sends Fernandez down for a second time here in round 1. The referee asks Jose if he's okay and tells Arguello to move in. Every punch Arguello throws is on target. Jose Fernandez taking a lot of punishment in the opening round. Fernandez is hurt and he tries to hold on. Fernandez goes down for a 3rd time, automatically stopping the fight. Alexis Arguello continues his quest for the junior lightweight crown.
It's June 10th, 1948, Newark, New Jersey. World's middleweight champion Rocky Graziano defends his title against the man he took it from just 11 months ago, former champion Tony Zale. Champion Graziano is in white striped trunks. This is the 3rd of a series of sensational fights between these two champions. Zale lands 2 crashing left hooks and sends Graziano to the canvas. This is typical of their 2 previous meetings. In that first fight, after taking a tremendous beating from Graziano, champion Zale gathered himself and, in an unbelievable comeback, knocked out Rocky in the 6th round. But 10 months later, in their second fight, it was Zale who won the first 5 rounds handily. But suddenly, challenger Graziano came on with a tremendous attack to capture the middleweight championship of the world when the referee stepped in and stopped the fight. Now it's Zale, the challenger, moving in with tremendous punches. He's trying to knock out Graziano here in the first round. The referee has to step in and separate the two men as the bell sounds to end this sensational opening round. Round 2 was fairly even. Here going into round 3, the challenger Tony Zale seems like he has recaptured his youth, landing all types of smashing punches. He corners Graziano on the ropes, pounding away with both hands. He lands murderous combinations and gets Graziano in real trouble. With a right to the body, a smashing left to the jaw, he floors Graziano for the 2nd time. And the champion, wearily, with the help of the ropes, drags himself to a standing position. Zale moves in, determined to finish it here in round 3. He stays on top of Graziano, landing left and right hand uppercuts to the jaw. As Graziano staggers backwards, Zale advances confidently, and with a tremendous right to the body and pulverizing left hook to the jaw, he knocks out Graziano.
and regains his cherished title of middleweight champion of the world in spectacular fashion. Tony Zale once again rules the tough middleweight division, and you saw it on Knockout. It's March 22nd, 1967. Heavyweight champion of the world Muhammad Ali makes the 9th defense of his title against tough Zora Foley at Madison Square Garden. Here in round 4, heavyweight champion Ali in white trunks is ahead on points and boxing brilliantly. A dynamite combination sends Foley crashing to the canvas. Ali raises his arms over his head as the referee sends him to a neutral corner. The referee gives Foley the mandatory 8 count and tells the fighters to continue. Unbelievably, Foley is coming on strong. Ali dancing around the ring, waiting for the right moment to deliver those paralyzing combinations of his. Foley looks to be completely recovered from that knockdown. Here in round 7, Ali is well ahead on points and is going for a knockout victory. Ali, up to this time, is undefeated in the ring. He won the heavyweight championship 3 years ago, stopping Sonny Liston in Miami Beach. A torrid combination got Foley senseless. Foley stumbles back as the referee completes the 10 count. Muhammad Ali scores a dramatic 7th round knockout over rugged Zora Foley and successfully defends his heavyweight title. On June 19, 1936, Joe Louis, who many years later was ranked by many of the boxing experts as the greatest fighter in the history of boxing, took on the former heavyweight champion of the world, Max Schmeling. The young 22-year-old Louis, to the right of your screen, had been a professional fighter for 1 year and 11 months, having had 27 professional fights, winning them all and scoring 24 of his wins by knockouts. Here in round 4, Schmeling, who previously had stated that he saw weakness in the defense of the Brown Bomber, shoots a tremendous straight right hand to the jaw, and with a flurry of punches sends Louis down for the first time in his professional career. Everyone knew there was power in the right hand of Schmeling, but no one believed that he could land it on the target. Louis had previously beaten former heavyweight champion Primo Carnera, whom he knocked out in 6 rounds, and Max Baer, whom he knocked out in 4 rounds. Louis was an overwhelming 5-1 favorite to take the measure of former champion Schmeling. But here in round 4, the fans are shocked at what they've seen. Prior to tonight's fight, Louis was in line for a title match with champion James Braddock, but a loss tonight would put a quick change to those plans. We go now to round 12. And in the 7 previous rounds, the young Joe Louis has been taking a terrible beating. Time after time, Schmeling has landed with that straight right hand to the jaw. Only unbelievable courage and fantastic stamina has been able to sustain Louis throughout the previous 11 rounds. It's the same unrelenting determination which 1 year later carried Joe Louis to the heavyweight championship. But here in round 12, his fierce pride is almost working against him, for he's taking everything from Schmeling that any human being can be asked to absorb. Here in the late seconds of round 12, with tremendous right-hand punches to the jaw, Schmeling finally knocks out the young Joe Louis and puts a temporary roadblock to one of the most fantastic careers in the history of boxing. And you saw it on Knockout. This same Joe Louis will go on to successfully defend the heavyweight championship an unprecedented 25 times and establish a fantastic knockout record of 22 KOs in those 25 title defenses. June 14th, 1934, champion Primo Carnera defends his heavyweight crown against challenger Max Baer. A right by Baer sends Carnera to the canvas early in round 1, the first of 11 knockdowns. Following through, Baer lands with both hands and sends the champion staggering. Again, Baer punches him down. Carnera flounders. Referee Arthur Donovan intercedes, points Bear to a neutral corner. Bear starts, but returns to launch an attack with both hands, firing to the head and body. See how Canera sticks out his left to keep his attacker away. But the maneuver fails. Now you see why this championship match is one of the most talked about in ring history. It's a classic. There was no point system in 1934. Ring officials scored only by the round. And round one was clearly a round for Max Bear. Primo Canera on the right appears well recovered from the beating he took in round one. Now Max Bear explodes with both hands. Down goes Canera, pulling Bear with him. And again they wrestle to the canvas. Bear missing a right, lands a left-right combination, and for the third time they roll to the canvas. See how Bear throws that right to the jaw? That's his biggest bomb. Come on and fight, says Maxie with a smile, and for 8 more rounds he taunts the champion by leading with his right, leaving himself wide open, throwing caution to the winds. Now in round 11, Bear lands an overhand right, a glancing blow, but it sends Canera sprawling to the canvas for the second time in the round. As Bear rushes in, Canera turns to the referee. He's had enough. Max Bear becomes the new world's champion.
It's October 30th, 1974. Heavyweight champion of the world, George Foreman, defends his crown against former champion Muhammad Ali in Zaire, Africa. Ali in white begins to score here at the end of round 3. Foreman in red looks confused. Ali won round 4 by a slim margin. Here in round 5, Ali appears content to lay on the ropes and let Foreman score at will. Ali tries a quick combination. Ali scores. Foreman is rocked. Ali scores again. Foreman misses a big left and Ali holds. In rounds 6 and 7, Ali looked to be the fresher of the 2 fighters. Here in round 8, Foreman looks completely exhausted. Foreman looks to be in trouble. And Foreman goes down. The referee is counting, but it doesn't look like George is going to beat the count. It's all over. Muhammad Ali regains the heavyweight crown with an 8th round knockout of George Foreman in Zaire, Africa.
Here in the beginning looks to be a respectful Tommy Morrison, watching out for the once famed jab of Pinkman Thomas.
Pinkman Thomas knows that left hook is coming, but he is a slow starter. It'll take him a few rounds to get warmed up, whereas Morrison is a quick starter. He likes to set the pace in the onset. Ooh, good left hook to the body by Morrison.
And that is his big punch. Morrison's last fight against Quick Tillis ended very quickly in the first round. That was the biggest name he has faced. And now it is Morris putting on the pressure. Thomas is already cut here in the first round.
That is over his right eye, and it is a nasty cut. Right through the eyebrow.
Bring it. Watch it.
Morrison with a big record. Just starting at this point to get ready to face some big foes. And there's that wicked punch. Hard to imagine this one getting through the first round. Morrison, though, has not won over the critics yet, looking to prove that he is not just the next great white hope. He has a couple of things going for him, his left and his right.
And he's got more going for him, Al. He's got Thomas hurt in this first round, and these two men are fighting in a 16.5-foot ring. There's no place for Thomas to run.
And Morrison is staying right in the middle of it. He's heard it before, people saying he's a good puncher, but he can't fight. Well, Mike Tyson heard the same things. Pinklin Thomas taking big shots here in the first, and now Morrison has settled down, steps back, looking to pinpoint his shots.
And that cut is bleeding over the right eye of Thomas. Thomas has to get back to that left jab. He come out the first part of the fight, throwing that left jab, and here, late in the round, he's standing toe-to-toe. Now he's confused about the cut on his face and about the big punches that Morrison is landing. He is stunned. He's rocked. This is what happens to fighters when they lose that competitive edge. They can't get out of the way of those punches. Every shot that Morrison is throwing is nailing Thomas.
Pinklin Thomas said it earlier. He's going to fight this fight as if it were his last, and it should be. Coming down to 10 seconds. We'll pause for a word from our local cable systems. And the big surprise right here is that Thomas has survived the first round. It is over. Pinklin Thomas will not come out for the second round. Cut severely on the forehead, right over the eye, and Pinklin Thomas waved it off.
It's October 16th, 1909, and the great heavyweight champion, Jack Johnson, defends his title against the Michigan assassin, middleweight champion Stanley Ketchel. It's round 5 of this scheduled heavyweight championship contest, and middleweight champion Stanley Ketchel, to your left, has been surprising everyone. He's not only taking on the most feared heavyweight in the last 20 years, but he's giving an excellent account of himself. Ketchel is giving away 5 inches in height and 41 pounds. Heavyweight champion of all time, Jack Johnson. Watch Ketchel throw a haymaker left while Johnson nimbly steps back, avoiding the punch. Johnson is reputed to be the finest defensive fighter in the history of boxing. Ketchel will leap in with a hard left, and Johnson will counter with a jolting right, which nearly floors Ketchel. Johnson is a superb counterpuncher, and Ketchel is learning it the hard way. Stanley Ketchel is only 5 feet 8 inches tall, but he stated many times that there's no man in the world he feels he can beat, regardless of size. As Ketchel charges in, once again missing a left, Johnson rushes forward with a smashing left to the body. Johnson has every conceivable physical advantage over the challenger, and it's beginning to pay off. At the end of round 5, Johnson has a clear advantage over the middleweight champion of the world, Stanley Ketchel. In round 6 through 11, Johnson's clever defense kept Ketchel missing badly. Watch closely as Ketchel lands a tremendous right to the jaw and floors Johnson. The champion will take a count of 7 and then get to his feet. As Ketchel moves in to finish the job, Johnson will land a blistering right hand to the jaw, knocking Ketchel cold. Johnson trips over the fallen Ketchel and then tries to dislodge 2 of Ketchel's teeth embedded in his right-hand glove. Jack Johnson successfully defends his heavyweight championship against middleweight champion Stanley Ketchel, October 16th, 1909 in Colma, California.
It's January 22nd, 1988. Heavyweight champion Mike Tyson defends his crown against legendary former champion Larry Holmes. During the first 3 rounds, Holmes in white trunks was able to keep the rampaging champion from scoring any damaging blows. Here in round 4, Tyson is looking to take charge. A blockbuster right drops Holmes like a fallen tree. Holmes courageously rises and tries to shake off the effects of that bomb. Holmes says he's okay, and referee Joe Cortez tells Tyson to move in. A glancing blow sends Holmes to the canvas again. He stumbles backward into the ropes and finally gets his balance. Cortez screams out the count as the former champion tries to gather himself. Tyson trying to end it here in round 4, and Holmes misses with a whistling right. A crushing right staggers Holmes, and Tyson pursues him across the ring. Tyson, throwing punches from all angles, rocks Holmes again. A pulverizing right crashes off Holmes' jaw and drops him again. It's all over. Mike Tyson scores a sensational fourth-round knockout over the great Larry Holmes and successfully defends his heavyweight crown.
Heavyweight champion Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay, makes the 7th defense of his title against the knockout punching challenger Cleveland Williams. In round 1, both fighters were content to feel each other out. But here in the opening moments of round 2, Cleveland Williams in the dark trunks begins to press the attack. Williams keeps chasing Ali, but is stopped in his tracks by a 1-2 combination. The challenger hits the canvas for the first knockdown. As the mandatory 8-count rule is in effect, referee Harry Kessler counts the required 8 seconds, but Williams is up at the count of 3. Williams returns to the fray, only to be met with an avalanche of leather. The challenger goes down again. Williams, who owns one of the most amazing KO records in the modern ring history, again rises from the canvas after only a few seconds, but gets the benefit of a full 8 count. As the champion moves in again, Williams launches one of his lethal left hooks, but misses the agile Ali. The champion starts another combination that puts Williams down for the 3rd time. The bell ending the round saves the challenger from a possible knockout. Manager Hugh Benbow and his handlers assist the dazed Williams to a stool to ready him for round 3. Now Williams tries to recover the initiative, but Muhammad Ali is in complete command as he exhibits what he calls the Ali shuffle before launching another attack. Another shuffle step, then a series of lefts and rights starts the challenger on the road to the canvas for the 4th time. Again, Williams rises again, showing tremendous courage. But the champion moves in again to place a final series of devastatingly accurate punches to the challenger's head. The referee steps in and stops the fight, saving the courageous Williams from further punishment. Muhammad Ali wins his 27th fight in a row and successfully defends his heavyweight crown.
It's June 28, 1948. Heavyweight champion of the world Joe Louis makes the 25th defense of his title against Jersey Joe Walcott in New York City. The brown bomber Joe Louis is in the dark trunks. Jersey Joe Walcott wears white. Louis misses with a left, and Jersey Joe lands a jolting right to Lewis's jaw, sending him to the canvas here in round 3. Louis is up immediately. This is Walcott's 2nd shot at the title. 6 months ago, the two went 15 sizzling rounds, with Louis winning a split decision. Walcott at 34 would be one of the oldest fighters to win the heavyweight crown if he succeeds tonight. Here in the 11th round, it's still very close. Jersey Joe is exhibiting some fancy footwork in there as Louis patiently waits for an opening. But Walcott must be careful. Louis carries dynamite in both fists. His ring record speaks for itself. 20 of his 24 title defenses have ended in knockouts. Walcott gets hit with a jolting right hand. Walcott breaks away, but the brown bomber has him in trouble. A devastating barrage of punches, and Jersey Joe drops to the canvas. The referee picks up the count. Jersey Joe tries to clear his head after that avalanche of leather. He staggers to his feet, but too late. Joe Louis retains the world heavyweight crown with an 11th round bombing of game Jersey Joe Walcott.
Now see the greatest champions of all time in their most sensational and thrilling knockout. Almost feel the two-handed demolishing punches thrown by Smokin' Joe Frazier. Watch in awe at the devastating power of George Foreman. You'll marvel at the magnificent grace of the incomparable Muhammad Ali, CEO of the great world boxing champions in the electrifying series, Knockout.
ボクシング史に刻まれた珠玉の名カードを完全収録。ザ・ノックアウト。ボリューム1、戦慄のワンパンチ KO 編。徴兵回避のためチャンピオンの座を剥奪されたモハメド・アリがジョージ・フォアマンに挑戦。ジョージ・フォアマンとジョー・フレイジャーの無敗同士の対決。マイク・タイソン対ラリー・ホームズ、ロッキー・マルシアーノ対ジョー・ウォルコット、ジョー・ルイス対マックス・シュメリングなどハードパンチャーが続々登場。戦慄のワンパンチ KO 編。ボリューム2、歴史的ヒーロー誕生編。ヘビー級初防衛でソニー・リストンと再戦するモハメド・アリ。 WBC チャンピオントレバー・バービック対マイク・タイソン、フロイド・パターソン対ソニー・リストン。新チャンピオン誕生の歴史的瞬間が続々登場。歴史的ヒーロー誕生編。ボリューム3、逆転ノックアウト編。シュガーレイ・レナードとトーマス・ハーンズのウェルター王座決定戦。マイク・タイソン対ピンクロン・トーマス、石の拳ロベルト・デュラン対ケン・ブキャナン戦など感動の名勝負が満載。逆転ノックアウト編。ボリューム4、宿命のライバル激突編。モハメド・アリ対ジョー・フレイジャー、そしてアリが初めてタイトルを手にしたソニー・リストン戦。その他マイク・タイソン対マイケル・スピンクス、ルイス・フィルポ対ジャック・デンプシーなど戦うことを運命づけられた男たちの勝利への気迫がほとばしる宿命のライバル激突編。チャンピオンたちの変遷が一目でわかるザ・ノックアウト。ジョー小泉氏による全試合解説書付きで好評発売中。